I don't know where we are. Okay, I'm going to do a short interview with Valerie Carr about 3Q, starting at this point. Val, you were the first person to invite me to come in and present what turned out to be 3Q check-in to Salvation Army. What year was that?
Was it 2014? Yeah,
I lost his head.
He has no hat.
He has no hat. This is a
it
USB.
2015. It's either 2014 or 2015.
So let's say 5 years ago, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then by a year later, you were in the Heartland division. You guys started using 3Q check-in. So you were kind of like patient zero, and with Kelly Collins and then a few other people. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in the pros and cons. What I want to know why you and your husband Jeff have persisted and continued to use 3Q personally. And I'm particularly interested in this isn't a sales pitch here. This is really kind of why, what we just did. What's the value not only in the system, the organizational side of it, and the methodology, but the actual coaching, like when you and I talk. I mean, pretty much over the last 5 years, you and I have almost every month talked like this about whatever check-ins you're doing, correct?
Yeah.
As well as with Jeff and other people. So why did you keep going?
So when I left Heartland, I didn't have to. I chose to at that point to keep meeting with my employees, my new staff that I had in St. Louis, because for the lack of a system, it at least gave me something to work with. It was structured. I knew how to do it. I had seen its ability in my previous place. So I just kept doing it. And I really did feel within just a couple of months that it was a valuable tool. And at this point, those employees that have been with me since the beginning in St. Louis, they look forward to these moments.
What is your position, and then how many employees are you report to you, and are you 3Qing with?
I'm the divisional secretary for program, which means I oversee denominational programming for the Salvation Army of Missouri and Southern Illinois.
How many people, when you say the divisional secretary, you're supervising churches, core, you call them core churches, and I think of them as agencies. What does your role entail as it relates to how many are there?
There are 24 church units between Missouri and Southern Illinois that report, in a sense, to my department regarding their denominational activities. So I help oversee strategic goals and church growth thoughts and plans for each of those 24 locations, music ministry, adult program, anything that's adult programming that would fall under my umbrella, as well as analysis and data analytics. And then I oversee large denominational fellowship events. So
is there anything you don't do? Okay, time out. All right, so you also have.
That's not in my part.
Forget about it. Somebody else has got that. So that's what all those people in those 24 units are doing. Okay, so you are also have staff at headquarters in St. Louis, where the Midland division that report to you, and those are the people you primarily 3Q, as well as some of the officers, staff officers. Let's talk about. You have 5 staff that report to you in your position.
We have a department of 7, so 8 including me, and 4 of them report directly to me. So I 3Q 4 of the staff.
Got it. And then you have some officers. You have a program where you've been trying to get officers to adopt 3Q.
One of my other roles is called Officer Resource and Development Secretary, which means I help Salvation Army officers or pastors figure out their own development process and plans. And that can be education, or that could be coaching or mentoring. It depends on the officer and the situation.
Right.
And so I decided to beta test 3Q with officers because I had seen it work so well with employees and development of them personally in their leadership skills and how it's developed me through coaching. So I felt like it could do the same thing. It was almost like a discipleship opportunity with that group. And so we have rolled that out, trained other leaders, other Salvation Army officers at divisional headquarters to be 3Q leaders. And each person takes 2 to 3 other Salvation Army officers from Missouri or Southern Illinois and meets on a monthly basis.
Okay. You and I, what are the benefits? Some people do, in fact, just use 3Q and never call me because I don't know that, you know what I mean? It's just happening.
The rogues.
It just goes out there. So, okay, so why not just do that? You don't.
Oh, like why not have just go without coaching?
Yeah, without coaching.
Because the coaching piece for me, at least, is the most helpful because an objective view helps see things that I didn't see perhaps in the conversation. I've learned through conversation how to spot things like triangles and monkeys and be able to communicate that effectively, like how to talk about it. So I've learned that in coaching, which then I think trains the person I'm talking to be able to start talking, like, so it's just like a trickle down effect. They grow because I've grown. And the coaching really is like the point, at least for me, it's the most helpful piece. I could have conversations all day and they not be as effective as 3Q conversations are because the coaching helps keep them focused.
How much time do you spend total, do you think, 3Qing people in a month?
So I do about 6 a month. They're about 30 minutes. Some of my employees that have been with me longer don't even take a full 30 minutes anymore. It's with coaching, it's probably maybe a tops of 3 hours, maybe.
Including what we're doing?
Yeah.
A month.
Because some of those 3Q check-ins are 10, 15 minutes at this point.
Got it. Okay. If you weren't doing 3Q check-ins for 15 or 20 minutes once a month, it sounds like almost like nothing to a person, even though they're not doing anything themselves. What would be the alternative? What do people do that don't have that structure, even though it seems quite minimal to many people?
Nothing. I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be managing fire. Like as problems come up, then I would be dealing with them rather than helping see them ahead of time and helping people notice bad habits.
Do you literally notice a difference in yourself as a manager because of 3Q, that you're not as anxious has it changed anything for you personally, lowered your anxiety? I guess that's the question.
I think so, in the sense that I don't know that I would have called myself a micromanager beforehand, but it definitely has loosened grip on rescuing everybody from the thing they can't solve. Yeah. That's been a really helpful piece of that, and noticing like my own tendency to go pick up other people's problems and solve them for them. I don't think without 3Q, I probably would just still be doing that and be exhausted because I'm doing my job and 6 other people's jobs.
So the structure gives you a way to practice distancing yourself from.
Yeah, and it really does help me find ways to remind people they are capable. I hired them or I have them because they have skills. They can solve this on their own.
Right. Okay. Anything else you want to say about the process that you think would be helpful for people in other similar kind of organizations?
Yeah, I really think that without 3Q, I would have lost one of my employees a long time ago. Like it just has really kept the relationship that we've developed because there's a trust. And it also means that I feel like my employees trust me more because of this. They're loyal to me more because of this. And I've noticed lately, like, so Barbie's so new to 3Q that she's not necessarily loyal to me yet because she hasn't had this relationship built over. And often my employees will come to me when anything happens And so I've noticed a difference. Those who've been 3Qing for a while, I'm the first to hear about stuff. And those that are still relatively new, like they don't talk to me or they wait till we sit down. And so I really think it does breed loyalty. It also helps me figure out who to fire.
Yep, good. The person that you retained, because this is seems to be a big issue for people and managers and supervisors. Um, th- I don't know if you can put a monetary value on what you saved by the fact that she chose to stay with you. Do you have any way of monetizing what it would have cost you to replace her, either in time or training or?
Oh, in time and training, ugh, it would have been, I don't know how to monetize it, but I do know, like, personally, I would have lost valuable time doing my actual position because I've been trying to cover what was lost while she's gone in the time frame it took to find someone who can do a very specialized position and have the same mission alignment that she does.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would have been really disastrous.